and we'll get started. And just coming to your space. Hopefully, you have some nice ambiance going on, a little ambiance. You might have an essential oil, which I have this heart chakra. I really like it. It has rosewood, patchouli, geranium, Listia tubiba. I don't know what that is. A petitgrain, orange, ylang ylang. So it's got a lot of stuff that I really am drawn to. So whatever you're drawn to, and it can change from one time to the next. I have my eye pillow. Got my eye pillow, and that's a lovely, lovely addition to your practice. I have two bed pillows. You could also have a bolster. If you have a bolster instead, that would work just fine. You don't have to have a yoga block, but I have one because I'm going to show an option and a posture that we're going to do. And I have three blankets that are for folding up and doing stuff with. So if you have a fourth blanket that you can use for covering up, that is ideal. And we're going to begin on our back without anything underneath of us. But before we get there, I'm going to have you take two folded blankets and turn them into long rectangle blankets and just pop them off to the side. You can stack them. We're going to use them in a little bit. I like to get them smoothed out. And then you might have a blanket for the back of your head. I like to have a blanket for the back of my head. A blanket is sometimes a little nicer than a pillow because it doesn't lift your head so high. You can roll the bottom of the blanket up to create a little support for your cervical spine. And then bring your feet about mat width and let your knees fall in towards each other. The supported relaxation. And this is the way that in other of my yoga classes, we have to do a supported relaxation like this. You might remove your glasses if you're wearing glasses and just put them off to the side and kind of just let your knees fall in towards each other. Let your hands come to rest on your abdomen. Rock your head a little from side to side and just take a few nice deep breaths. You might sigh, you might notice the back of your body relaxing, sinking down into the earth as you exhale. You might feel or sense your nervous system begin to, you can sort of feel the ripples of your nervous system. And you might begin to notice it relaxing, kind of like waves or ripples from a pebble hitting a lake, surface of a lake, and those ripples are moving out, and eventually there becomes this stillness on top of the lake again. So you're noticing the ripples and watching as the stillness is present on the surface. And you can allow your breath to just be natural, and as it is, you can have your hands on your belly and just gently rub your abdomen. And move your hands anywhere that they feel drawn towards. Your hands are like breath magnets. maybe your one hand goes up to your heart or kind of to your solar plexus, your collarbones, your side ribs, and allow your hands to explore as these breath magnets that they are. Wherever they go, the breath draws towards the palms of your hands and your fingertips and just encourages you to breathe fully as your breath massages you internally, and the warmth and gentle pressure of your very own healing hands warms you from the outside in. Your jaw relaxes with each exhalation, as does your forehead and your eyes. Trusting your inner wisdom and allowing your hands to move. Maybe they enter someplace where you feel like it's hard to breathe, where the breath feels kind of stuck. And you can just continue to encourage your breath to draw to that area gently, with warmth and kindness. Settling into your practice, offering yourself gratitude for taking this time to plug in, to notice, and to be very kind and loving and generous to yourself. And this bubble of protection, this sort of beautiful golden bubble, of comes from within you and expands all the way out to the space around you, and it expands into your room. This beautiful bubble of safety, of security, that expands into your whole household, and you're enveloped and embraced in this beautiful bubble of healing, of nourishment, sort of like being an embryo, or being a little baby in the womb. You're just absorbing and feeling nourished and nurtured within this kind of safe bubble. And take a deep inhale and let it go. Now let your feet walk a little closer towards your hips, and your knees are hip width distance. Bring your arms alongside your body, and we're going to tilt the pelvis, just tilting it one direction and then the other. Feeling your sacrum sort of rocking on the earth. And as you find this gentle rocking, your low back makes contact with the earth, and then your low back lifts off of the earth, and It's just a very gentle, very subtle rocking that encourages that connection with the earth and with the safety, that sense of safety that's really very necessary in our experience of inner alchemy. We have to be safe, have to feel safe in order to quiet our mind and then to allow ourselves to feel however we feel, to process those emotions, to process all of the information that we take in that runs through our body and through our consciousness. We're going to begin to find some bridge lift, to incorporate bridge lift. So you might press through your feet and lift your hips a little bit and then lower them back down. And you might lift your hips and then your spine lifts up off of the ground, coming up towards your shoulder blades, and your chin comes towards your chest, and then your spine gently lowers back to the ground. So playing around with this bridge lift, see if you can do it extra slow. And breathing all the while and noticing the places where you feel apt to hold your breath. You can breathe into that part of your movement. And if it feels good to you, you can evolve this movement. And as your hips lift, your arms come up overhead and release back behind you, lowering your hips and bringing your arms back down to your sides. The chin stays tucked and you're just allowing this nice, gentle, flowing bridge movement. Moving through that beautiful, safe, golden bubble that envelops you and your little safe world. And one more time, lifting your hips, maybe your arms reach back behind you and then they lower and your arms come down. Bring your knees into your chest and give them a little squeeze. You can rock a little from side to side. And then rolling over to your side, we'll slowly roll up to a seat to get our little folded blanket. So taking your time coming up to a seat, I'm gonna reapply my glasses. And we're going to find a supported bridge. Now there are different ways to do this. If you have a yoga block, you could always have a yoga block under your hips. You could have a bolster, but we're going to use a couple of folded blankets. Now, I want you to be mindful of what your spine needs, and maybe having two is going to make your hips a little too high. So just play around with this and see what feels good. You're going to bring your hips to the height, and then you're going to bring yourself down, and you want your sacrum supported by the blanket. And when you feel comfortable there, you have a few different options. One option is to keep your knees bent. That's going to be a little easier on your low back, perhaps. Or you can experiment. You can extend one leg long, and maybe you bring the other leg long, and you can kind of adjust yourself and just see what works for you. And again, having a little less height underneath of your hips might make this easier on you on the low back. This is a pretty big opening for the hips, kind of for the pelvis, for the hip flexors, for the abdomen. So it's pretty deep as far as that goes. So something else you could do to make it a little less intense, roll the up, come back up, is you could bring a little height underneath of your legs. So I've got two bed pillows here. So I could bring a little height under my legs and see how that feels. Oh, that feels actually kind of does the trick. It feels nice. Having your knees up a little higher, kind of like how we did last week, we did a waterfall with the chair. That can be another way to take the pressure off of the low back. But once you get to a place that works for you, you can remove glasses again and let your arms just hang out wherever they want to be. You might bring a eye pillow to your eyes and just sort of rest here for a little bit. Keeping your head supported, your chin slightly towards your chest, your shoulder blades on the ground. Take a few nice, slow, deep breaths. begin to deepen your breath and find a sigh. Moving your fingers and your toes. And we're going to stay on our back body. But to get yourself off of the support, you could bring your feet to the ground, lift your hips, and scooch your blankets off to your right side if you can. You might remove your eye pillow, keeping your eyes closed as you do because it's brighter than you think it is. And now bring your knees into your chest and rock from side to side. Letting your head turn one direction while your knees turn the other. These little blankets off to the right side, and eventually we're going to use them for a twist, but we're not there yet. Rocking from side to side. Let your arms and legs reach towards the ceiling and move your wrists and your ankles. Spread and point your fingers and toes. Bring your left foot to the ground and your right knee in towards your chest, giving it a little hug. Rock your leg from side to side. Find a half happy baby. You can maybe hold on to your thigh, your calf, your ankle, or your foot, bringing your knee in towards your armpit a little. And rocking that leg from side to side. Cross your right ankle over your left knee. Just let your knee fall out to the side. Come into a figure four stretch here, bringing your legs in towards your chest. Maybe interlace your fingers at the back of your left leg or around your shin. Breathe here, seeing if you can let your shoulders really soften. Enjoying that nice stretch in the hip. Smiling into your hip. And we'll uncross the legs and bring them back up to the ceiling, moving your wrists and ankles. You might even shake them out a little bit this time. Bring your right foot to the ground and bring your left knee in towards your chest, rocking it a little from side to side. Half happy baby. You can let your foot kind of move towards the ceiling as you draw your knee in towards your armpits, maybe holding on to your shin, your ankle, or your foot. Breathing into that stretch. And cross your ankle over your right knee and bring your knees in towards your chest and find that nice figure four stretch on that side. And smiling into your hip, relaxing your jaw a little bit more. Unwind your legs and bring your arms and legs back towards the ceiling again, sort of wiggling them around. Smile. It makes you feel sort of light, like you're supported by the earth beneath your back and you're able to just sort of move, maybe make little bicycle motions with your legs and with your arms. Let your right leg extend long on the ground and bring your left knee in your chest and giving it a hug. We're going to cross your knee from the right back over to the left. So eventually we're going to bring the left knee down to those stacked blankets, but just take your time. Let it exchange from one side to the other. Breathing as you do, getting that nice stretch in your hip, being gentle, kind, and compassionate. And eventually your knee makes its way over to the stack of blankets, and maybe your left arm extends out to a T. Even look over your left shoulder and just rest here. You can breathe and soften a little more. You need more height. You can get one of these pillows to get involved, bringing it over underneath of your leg as well. Getting a nice twist, nice massage of your abdomen. Let it go and bring that knee back in. Bring your foot to the ground. Let your right foot come to the ground as well and re-establish your hips there. Kind of shaking out your back body a little bit. And move your stack of blankets to the other side. Extend your left leg long. Bring your right knee in towards your chest. Give it a squeeze and start to exchange your legs from between your left hand and your right hand. Movement through your hips into your lower back. Kindness and compassion for your human experience. Eventually, let your knee cross over and make its way to that stack of blankets. Let your right arm extend out to the side. Maybe look over your shoulder and just let your eyes soften. Let your body soften and relax here. Something that's so nice about working with supported restorative postures, having extra props allows us to kind of sink a little bit more and maybe offer a little more support to the parts of our body that are a little weaker and need a little bit more support. So always feeling free to make changes, to taste test different things and decide what's best for you. Wherever you are, listening to your breath. back to center, bring your feet to the ground, and bring your hips to the ground. Give yourself a little shake, kind of like I feel kind of like a bear against a tree, just kind of rubbing your back against the ground and your hips and wiggling things out a little bit, and giving it a nice wiggle. And another thing that's kind of fun to do is with your feet on the ground, you can kind of push through your feet, and it's sort of rocking. It's a little bit of rocking of the pelvis, but what's happening here is you're releasing the skin from some of that connective tissue on your back. So that can be really restorative as well. So just kind of pressing into your feet and letting your back body rock against the earth, kind of like a bear rocking its back up against the tree. Tickle a little as well, and that never hurt anyone. Take a deep breath in and let it go. We're gonna roll over to the side again, and we're gonna set ourselves up for our next restorative posture, which is also gonna be on our back. Now, we're going to come into a resting butterfly. And this is one where what I would suggest, I have 2 bed pillows, and that makes a nice prop. A bolster would work for this as well. And I'm going to just put 1 blanket here for the hips, for my hips to go on. And then I'm going to take my other blanket and I'm going to lay it out so that it's just kind of a less of a thick layer than the top one. That way my shoulders might even still come down here past it. I kind of like that to happen. Bringing my hips onto that flatter blanket. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll this up so I make a little bit more of a ramp for my pillows. I've got my bum on the flatter blanket. You could have your hips elevated here, but I think after that last one, it's better just to let the hips be a little more flush with this lumbar spine. I've got my legs over this bolster. I'm gonna roll back and let my shoulder blades come down to the ground. I want to get a pillow or a blanket to cover up with. I'm gonna get my eye pillow, and you can let your soles of your feet come together if that works for you. You might have to adjust your pillows to get them a little higher. The soles of your feet coming together, just a really relaxed, restorative butterfly shape. Cover up with your pillow. Put any glasses off to the side. And then let your eye pillow come over your eyes. Let yourself relax and soften. And since we have a little bit of height just below the shoulder blades at this raw line vertebrae, it's allowing for a bit of a chest opener still. This is a hip opener, this is a chest opener, and you can just let your hands come to rest wherever they feel comfortable. Taking a few deep breaths, making sure that your chin is a little bit lower than your forehead. Feel nice to let your hands rest somewhere on your abdomen. For me, it feels nice to let them rest up closer to my solar plexus. Let you sink into the softness underneath of you. Remind yourself that you're safe. Offer gratitude for taking the time for your practice, for recharging your batteries, and then allow this passive relaxation and opening. When we feel safe, we can quiet our mind. We can allow ourselves to feel and to process. Let your breath move down into your low abdomen as you inhale. Your breath draws down and makes its way to your pelvic floor as you inhale. And as you exhale, it flows gently out through your nose, and your low abdomen relaxes and falls towards your spine. Let your breath be natural, unconditioned. stretch. We're going to roll off of the blanket and lie on your side. You want to bring one of those pillows with you or a blanket between your knees, shins, and ankles. And you want to keep your eyes closed as your eye pillow falls away. Maybe you bring that blanket from behind you and place it on your back body to give you just a little extra comfort. And crossing your arms, your chest, let your hands rub your upper arm. Slowly begin to make your way up to a seat, taking your time. My glasses back to my eyes. And we're going to find a seat with the legs extended out in front of you. So you might take a blanket and fold it up long ways and let your bum come to sit there. You can bring your pillows or your bolster off to the side. And then you can take another blanket and roll it up for under your knees, extending your legs out in front of you. This last blanket can just come off to the side. So having your hips on a blanket can allow for a tilt of the pelvis, which encourages taller spine. Move your ankles and gonna rub down and up the leg, nice and slow. Maybe as you roll down, you exhale, and rolling up, inhale. The next time you come up, I'm going to take the fingertips and tap under the collarbone. And we're going to do a little Brahmari, a little bee breath. So as you exhale, you're going to kind of hum like a bee and allow that humming to make its way into your sinuses and into your lungs. Mm. Mm. And let your fingertips rest under your collarbones, letting your hands just rest over your lungs. Feeling the reverberation from your B breath. It's a great exercise for keeping your lungs nice and clear. And smile into the palms of your hands, shining the warmth and healing light from your hands. And hands are like breath magnets, drawing your breath from all different places in your lungs to wherever the hands go. So now bring your hands to your side ribs, expanding your side ribs. And bring your hands to your low back. Breathe into your hands. Where to find a forward fold. So you might grab one or two blankets or pillows, bringing them up onto your lap, and lifting your spine, and then begin to fold forward, relaxing over that support. Maybe you let a cheek come to your hands, and if you need more support, you can always adjust things so that you're not leaning as far over. Forward folds are soothing for the nervous system, and they allow you access to breathe into the backs of your lungs. Breathing into the backs of your lungs takes pressure off of your diaphragm, off of your solar plexus. Bringing maybe the other cheek to your support if your head is turned. To make your way slowly to a tall spine, letting your chin come towards your chest. Move the blankets or the pillows off of your lap and help your knees to bend. You're gonna let your hands come back behind you. And with your legs a little further apart, let one knee fall in and back out. And the other leg, letting your knee fall in and out. Don't let both knees fall to one side. Maybe you kind of reach behind you and come to center. They fall to the other side, and maybe you reach. Getting this little stretch from the tips of your toes to the tips of your fingers. Coming back to center, bring your thumb off of the height, and we're going to start setting ourselves up to lie down for final relaxation. So I want you to be as absolutely comfy as possible. You can take a blanket and sort of roll it up to be a ramp for your pillows. You're not going to want any additional height under your back, but you might bring each of these other blankets or whatever else you have. You might have a couple blankets. You could bring one into either side to prop up your arms, definitely covering up with the blanket. And so you get yourself comfortable, and then you're going to bring your knees back into your chest. Gonna grab your aromatherapy and your eye pillow. And we're going to take the blanket that you cover up with, and you're going to make yourself a little hammock for a few moments. Have a little waterfall hammock for your legs. So just letting your feet move upwards towards the ceiling. You can kind of wrap your roll your blanket inwards to hold your legs, and you've got this nice little hammock for your legs. And let your legs flow forward. They might come back. Your eyes soften. You might even remove your glasses at this point because the only next place we're going is the relaxation. Let your legs come down over your bolster. Grab your aromatherapy and put a dab in your palm. rub your hands together and bring your hands over your nose, taking a few nice deep breaths. And then anointing yourself with that aroma wherever you'd like it to go. And breathing into your hands wherever they find themselves. And getting your eye pillow, placing it over your eyes. Take a deep breath and let it go. Let your arms rest comfortably at your sides, hands on the body, being enveloped in the softness. And allow your toes to relax. You might squeeze them and then release them. Allow your feet to relax. Ball of each foot soften. The arch of each foot soften. And the heel of each foot soften. Your ankles relax. All of the bones and the tissue of each foot relax and soften. And your ankles relax. The bones and tissues of your lower leg relax. Your knees relax and soften. The bones of your upper legs relax. The connection of your femurs into your pelvis relax. Your sacrum relax. Your abdomen relaxes and softens. Your chest relaxes. Your collarbones relax and soften and sink down towards the earth. The tips of your fingers relax. The bones of your fingers and your hands soften and relax. Your wrists relax. The bones of your lower arms and all the associated tissue relax. Your elbows soften and relax. The bones of your upper arms relax. Your shoulders and your shoulder blades relax. Your spine relaxes. The bones of your face and your skull relax. Your whole body relaxes and softens into the safety of the earth. Your energy moves freely through your body, releasing tension, digesting and processing information, letting go of anything you no longer need. You are always held and always loved, warm and safe in your golden bubble. Allow yourself to rest. can stay here as long as you like. That's a beautiful benefit of a practice in your own home. What if it's time to switch gears? Begin to deepen your breath and make small movements with your fingers and your toes, your wrists and ankles. Give yourself a full body stretch. Slowly make your way over to your side where you're going to be for just a moment, hovering up, giving yourself a little hug. Slowly begin to make your way up to the seat. Taking your time getting there. To ride and rock from side to side, front to back. And then rub your hands together, nice and warm. And bring one hand to your heart and the other to your belly. And offer yourself kindness, compassion, peace, and love. Breathing into your breath magnets, the palms of your hands. Offering yourself a smile. Feeling your breath and your heartbeat. And your palms together. The light in me honors that sacred light in you. Namaste. Thank you very much for your practice. And I hope that you have a very peaceful rest of your evening. I'll see you